Paging all black Democrats, paging all black Democrats. I don't want to say that I told you so, but I told you so. Now, you made us look so bad. You made people look like we was just out of our minds. You made us look like we was racist. You made us look like we was all messed up. The only thing we was doing was trying to advocate for our culture and advocate for our people. And that's it. Never advocated hate for anyone. Just advocating for our team, just like everybody else advocates for their. Fair is fair. If we're going to be equal, then let's be equal. For reals. Now, as you see in the Chicago situation, as they're bringing these people in, I'm going to let you see what happens when you vote the wrong way. See, we've been telling you that the Democrats have been fooling you for the last 100 years, but you didn't want to listen. We've been telling you that they're going to set you up, but you didn't want to listen. But this is what happens when you vote for 100 years without getting anything. This is what happens to you when you put all of your hope and change in hope and change. And you ended up getting nothing out of it. But this is what they're going to give to you for all of your dedication and all of your loyalty after all these years. This is what the Democrats going to do to you. And I keep on telling you, the devil will never change. What did I tell you? For it is written, there is no truth in him, not even a drop, and nor a tittle. I told you they have no truth in them. They're going to snake you every time. They're going to backstab you every time because it is in their nature. And now you turned around and you voted for the Democrats for all of these years. And now they're about to wipe out your population in Chicago. And they're bringing all these people from foreign countries by the hundreds of thousands in Chicago. Right now, there is 700 and something thousand black people inside of Chicago. But from what I heard, there's already about 200,000 foreigners coming in the city. 200,000. So you know what that means? In a matter of 30 days, they will have more migrants than there is black people in the city of Chicago. That is what you call a wipeout. And then you know what they're going to do? They're going to give all of these people the right to vote. And the Democrats is not going to need they're not going to need your help no more. So you can take your vote and stick it when the sun don't shine, because we no longer need you, black people. We have these foreigners to look to. We don't no longer need you, black people, because we have these foreigners. And they strung you along. And they strung you along like a rabbit chasing a carrot. And they never gave you the carrot. But they kept on promising you, one day, rabbit, you're going to get this carrot. If you just keep on running, if you just keep on hoping, if you just keep on believing in us and trusting in us and trusting in us, one day we're going to give you that carrot. And guess what, black people? You're not going to get the carrot because they never planned to give it to you. Now let's listen to what they're talking about and how they're going to wipe out the black population in Chicago. Check this out.
What is the status of, you said the lawsuit was being amended. And
we amended, it's filed.
So it has been filed?
Yes, it has. It's amended, well, it's a new lawsuit because we filed with the law division. So we filed our first complaint. The city actually never moved any people in. So we had a victory, kind of, right? But now there's literally 200,000 more people coming, buses coming to Chicago every day. And we got word that they were going to move them in now, even though the city had already said, hey, it's kind of moot. we're not putting them in here. We're using other locations. So there's two issues there. One, I'm focused on this issue because that's what I'm hired to do. But secondly, for the migrants themselves, they shouldn't be in schools and police stations and parks. They need to be in residential housing.
Right.
And there's enough vacancies, apartments, hotels, places where they can be put.
Briscoe Hotel. Put it in Briscoe Hotel.
Yes, it has, and I could send it to you. Yes, about 2 weeks ago.
In
Cook County Law Division, yeah.
Can you tell us just briefly, like what like an amendment, one of those amendments is, just in
Well, I think one of the most important amendments is also not asking just for the migrants not to come to the school, but for the school to be reopened and or used for community purposes. There was an oral contract that we think is enforceable.
Now we're going to break this down. Now, you just hear what he said. He said we're not going to keep the migrants from coming to the school. So even if they don't put them inside the school to live, they're going to come in and they're going to overpopulate the black school anyways. Because we're not going to close our doors to them once they start moving into your black neighborhoods. I told you. There's power in population. There's power in numbers. So all of you ignorant Negroes that be on here arguing about passport bros and divestors, and you're playing this game with each other, and you're trying to go on and marry other cultures to try to make each other mad. And as you continue to break down and destroy the black family with your ignorant selves, this is what's going on behind closed doors. Wake up. No, stay awake.
To make this building for the community. And that promise, that contract, that commitment needs to be fulfilled.
Does it seek to block migrants not just here, but at other schools and other...
Not at this time. We have been in discussions with other people. And I don't want to use the term blocking migrants because that's not what we're doing. We don't want migrants to come here or any school or floor or tent. They should be in residential housing across the United States. Okay, first of all, these are not homes. This is not zoned. It doesn't have permits.
That's not the plan. The plan is not to distribute them all over the country. The plan is for them to target high black populated cities. Do you understand the strategy? They don't want to send them over here to Seattle. They want to send them to Michigan. They don't want to send them to highly populated European cities. That's not the plan. Black people, do you peep the strategy? They're sending them to your cities. New York, Chicago, okay? That has a high population of Afro-Americans. They come in to overpopulate your cities. They don't want to just send them abroad. This is calculated and targeted. Let's go.
This is not residential housing, okay? So we're not blocking anybody. They should not be coming here because they should not be coming here.
Right. That's it.
And the amount of money that has been spent, 80% going to salaries, that doesn't need to happen. You don't need 80% going to salaries. That is to be audited. We should see who's making the money and if there should be any investigation and accountability for these people. So the second part is, yes, this should not be housing because it's not housing. The second part, it should be given to the community. Okay? But then the third part is pro-migrant. And that means they should be giving humane conditions, not police floors, not tents in Chicago winter, and not in parks or schools. Because Mayor Brandon Johnson won because of the African community. Paul Vallis got most of the white ethnic vote. He got most of the Hispanic vote. Brandon Johnson won because of the African American community. When crimes happen, he says that, well, this is from a position of anguish and we need programs. Well, how do you have programs if you shut down programs at parks and schools? You can't shut down a park and then say, I want to bring programs for kids.
Right, exactly. Where are they going?
Okay, we pay taxes for parks. Doesn't mean.
And we also know they've been shutting down schools and programs. They've been targeting us. Like you say, we are in a war. We are in a war and they're playing with us. And like you say, they always got a rabbit in the hat. A trick in the bag. And I told you, these some crafty people. These people being crafty. There's no truth in them. They've been systematically trying to tear us apart. Every time we try to put something together, they tear it apart. They don't give us millions of dollars, but they'll give millions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. Why don't they give us money? Why don't put money into, why haven't this been a crisis? All of these people dying in Chicago. 50 people shot in one day. That's not a humanitarian crisis? Then what is? But these people can seek asylum into the United States of America under threat. And the people in Chicago, they're not just being threatened, they're being killed. People are being murdered in Chicago. They're losing their lives in Chicago. There's more people that's dying in Chicago than that's dying in Iraq. But when it come to a few people dying in Iraq, what did they do? They sent planes, helicopters, they sent tanks, they sent the whole cavalry to save non-Americans. But here we is suffering in Chicago, dying every day, a humanitarian crisis, shutting down schools, shutting down programs. And you're going to tell me that they're not doing this on purpose? Anytime you decide not to do something, that means you don't want to do it. So this is why I don't waste my time with these people. I don't waste my time with them because if they wanted to do it, they would have been done it. Let's continue with the video because Chicago, you are under attack.
The federal government can never help a migrant. I think they should, but it means they should be helped in a proper fashion by having programs for kids in the parks, schools for the kids, for the schools, and then putting people in proper housing. McCormick Center had 3,000 beds during COVID. They weren't even used, and ventilators. That's a place that possibly could have been used, where there were people that had beds.
Check that out.
I'm not saying that's the place. I'm just saying that's a possibility. But taking over a park and canceling kids programs or artistic adults is not proper.
Let me real quick. I'm sorry, I know we're in questions, but I want to just bring our West Side people because you need to see the unity that we have. This is someone from the last night meeting. She's from that community. And she's a leader in that community, her and her husband.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for welcoming me out here with you all today. And one of the great things that came out of this is that you'll see a united front between the South Side and the West Side. We are standing together, united. This is something that you've never seen before in this city. The South Side and the West Side come together for a common cause.
Yeah.
Amen.
I'm standing here tonight with buyer's remorse because I supported Mayor Brandon Johnson. I feel like a fool right now. I feel like a plum fool.
Now, do you hear that, Democrats? See, this is what we're talking about. But we told you this day was going to happen. And here she is admitting that she feel like a fool. And now she having buyer remorse. But this is just the beginning. We warned you, Democrats. We warned you to stop playing with those Democrats. We warned you about playing with these Democrats. Okay? We told you they didn't have you in their best interest. I told you they're not really your friends. They were just posing as a friend. Okay? I told you that they used to be the KKK. The only thing they did was found a slick way to get back in there and control you again. And now they're controlling you through welfare. They're controlling you through low housing. They're controlling you through every aspect of the situation. Now they can tell you where your kids can go to school. Now they can send the CPS and Child Protective Services in there to take your children because you signed on a dotted line. You signed yourself right back into slavery and didn't even see it coming. And now this sister right here is having buyer's remorse because she realized that you've been hoodwinked and bamboozled, like our brother Malcolm X said. Let's continue.
But I tell you what, it's okay. Because as I said last night, you can slap us in the face by ignoring us today, but we are punching you in the face by ignoring you at the polling places tomorrow. We will not be disrespected. Now you think about this. I come from the same neighborhood that Mayor Johnson says he comes from. And you mean to tell me that you don't respect us enough to come and sit down with us and have a conversation? It's unacceptable. It is. But that's okay. You see, because what you have done is you have caused us to rise up.
Yes.
You have caused us to come together. You have caused us to unite.
That's right. Yes.
You think you have unitability with CTU? You haven't seen us. You haven't seen the monster that you have created. But we thank you. We thank you because for years and years and years, we have been trying to unite our communities.
That's right.
So we thank you, Brandon Johnson, because you've just done that.
Thank you.
You may not thank us tomorrow, but I promise you, you're going to remember these people here. We will not be defeated. We will not be bamboozled. We will not be disrespected. Thank you for your time. My name is Kata, C-A-T-A. Last name is Truss, T-R-U-S-S, and I am from the Austin community. Thank you.
And we're going to stop this video right here, but I want to show you guys something real quick. Okay, this is the population census. Let me see where I'm going here. Okay. Now, right here, in this population of the city of Chicago, okay, if you notice, numbers going down here, our numbers going down here in Boston, our numbers going down in New York, and our numbers are going down in San Francisco. Black people, your populations are falling. And I'm going to end that on this note. And remember, don't stay woke. Stay awake.